All right, welcome back, guys. Game number 3 is here. Evil Geniuses versus Immortals now coming at you. So we restarted the stream. Things should be good now moving forward. I better knock on the wood that I have here because dangerous thing to say. But I'm Breaky CBK, joined by Skim once again as my co-caster here. And we got, again, the final game of the series. This is an elimination match here for the Star Ladder I-League Invitational Season number 3 and a Qualifiers. Just to clarify, I know there's a lot of these qualifiers going on. This is for one of the many. But no, this is an elimination match. And right now, you know, we could be seeing EG getting knocked out a lot sooner than people would have expected, Skim.
Yes, I believe Immortals just showed in the last game that there are no pushovers whatsoever. Yeah, they've, you know, ever since they've rebranded, or ever since they've, you know, gotten back together, they've had a couple of shaky performances and shaky games, but in that last game they showed they are here to dance. And, well, the question is, can Evil Geniuses keep up? Because that was a devastating performance, really. I mean, you know, you lose your mid lane so intensely, and then even in the mid game, you know, after things start to look a little bit good, no, they just everything just falls apart again, and you just get ripped apart by a Klinks and a Bloodseeker. And as I mentioned, the Bloodseeker, it is first phase banned. Evil Geniuses do not want to mess with that again.
Yeah, obviously he was one of a couple of heroes that were very annoying that game. I'm sure the whole team was annoying to play against for Evil Geniuses with the way that game was going, but of course the other one that comes to mind is Klinks. I mean, you're not going to early ban a Klinks. It just doesn't feel right. But Bloodseeker, I think, is more up on that tier list to where, yeah, you could take him out, and so a little bit of a reaction ban is safe to say from them. They do get Spirit Breaker, though. This has been a rising 4 position, at least I feel like, in the NA region. Again, I keep referring to the NA region. That's one personally I've been watching the most of, being from NA after all, and happen to be now casting for these qualifiers going on. So I'm speaking from that perspective, at least. But several teams have most certainly been using him as kind of top priority. Night Stalker, of course, the other one on the other side. But again, we see a disruptor in this game, but this time on the side of EG, however. So a popular support in this series here.
Yeah, for sure. Night Stalker, you know, I mean, he's been a very meta hero for a while now, and then sort of started getting phased out a little bit. But there's still a lot of strength on regarding this hero. You can have a lot of map control with him just because of the night vision that he provides, and, you know, the Hunter in the Night, ever since it has been changed, I'd argue probably one of the better or best support spells, just because, again, it just provides you with necessary vision, and as a gank hero, having that unobstructed vision, but also the fact that you can fly over cliffs is just really, really strong. And it just suits Immortals' sort of playstyle, right? The Night Stalker as a hero just runs at you, big nuisance, and together with other heroes can be such a ganking machine, as we've seen last game from him and the Bloodseeker. The only question now is, how are Immortals going to pair him up this game around? And I like their opener with the Venomancer as well. Venomancer is such a flexible hero. You know, he can be a utility core, he can be your second core. I don't know, there's so many ways to play this Venomancer. You can even play him as a support if you want to. So this is a very safe opener, and I mean, it worked out for them last time around. The question is, can they follow up on it again?
Yeah, Venomancer definitely sets up as a great option for even an aggressive dual lane. That's something we see from time to time, you know, especially hell with something like the Night Stalker down there. If Venomancer Night Stalker lane, that's a really annoying lane to go up against for what would be a lot of matchups. So it's a potential, as you're getting at, a hero that's very diverse here. The final ban, though, coming out before pick number 3 on the side of EG, and it's going to be an Underlord. So we're seeing a bit of respect bans coming out here. We mentioned the Bloodseeker earlier, but how about those from now? Well, okay, well, Immortals is a little funky because they banned Klinks themselves. Obviously, they did that very well last game, and then they banned the Underlord too. So
to be fair, Klinks is also one of the heroes that EG have run and like to run. Same with the Venomancer, of course, which is why Immortals pick it this early to deny it from Evil Geniuses as well. So in that sense, we've already have, what, 2 respect bans in that regard, and then, you know, taking away the Venomancer from EG as well. Immortals definitely feels like they have come prepared for this matchup. Not giving, or only once, I believe, in the first game gave away Venomancer to Evil Geniuses, and then picking it up both times since. But yeah, again, Underlord, as we mentioned in the last draft, is just also one of these current meta hero. You know, he's sort of squeezed in there, especially in the NA region. Just a very strong hero, provides you with a lot of utility because he can build both a pipe and a mech. It's very difficult to bring down, can be aggressive, has split push, excellent team fighter, so checks a lot of marks, but some of those, boxes are also checked by the Darkseer. So, strong pickup from them, and it is one of Universe's signature heroes. Even if he doesn't like playing the hero, it is one of his signature heroes, and just works well for them. Together, Vacuum, Static Storm. I'm sure that's going to be some sick combo in the team, in the game. At some point.
Yeah, Darkseer Disruptor is a really strong combo, but also Darkseer Spirit Breaker is a really strong combo. So Darkseer really was a very good pick here when you think about it. Hell, honestly, from that perspective, I almost would have rather let them have Underlord than Darkseer. Kind of just thinking about it on paper here. But again, they ban the Underlord, they give up the Darkseer. So solid pick from EG. We'll see how they use it. Oracle coming out for the third pick for Immortals. Took a while to think about that, but 30 seconds of remaining time here. So they end up with their 5 support in Oracle. Once again,
it's a strong pick. Just the purge against the Darkseer in lane makes it so that Darkseer basically cannot stay in lane. He most likely just has to retreat into the jungle. And in general, the way that the Immortals play, or the way that the Koreans play, having a support that has a save like Oracle does is very beneficial for them. So in that sense, I do think this is a safe pickup for them. Oh, and the Necrophos, very nasty. Necrophos Venomancer. Welcome to Dota in September, August 2017.
Well, it's September, August, July, this has been a combo that's been pretty relevant for a little bit now. Obviously, thanks to no patch, cough, 7.06. When is it? Necrophos, I as the Queen of Pain came out, I kind of looked over the bans. I'm like, God, you know what? Necrophos is not banned yet. And sure enough, Immortals just cannot pass that up, and it's understandable that you can't pass that up. That is a strong one to get here.
Yeah, it's just too strong, really. And this is the last game of the match, right? And you highlighted this is an elimination match. There's no lower bracket or anything to fall back on. Necrophos is just a safe pickup in that regard, because you can always take the game late with the Necrophos if you needed to. As long as you survive the mid game, which again, Necrophos isn't too bad in either. The late game Necrophos, one Reaper Scythe kill can decide the game. So this is definitely a strong hero to pick up in a scenario like this. There's a lot of ways to combo it here as well. They have a lot of sustain, they have a lot of damage. So, if they pick up a very strong hero here to complement him, something with burst damage potentially, or maybe like a frontline carry, I feel like this is a very safe and strong draft from Immortals. But you could argue the same from EG as well already. Darkseer, Queen of Pain, staple heroes for them as well.
Well, final pick now for Immortals to happen. How about that from Immortals, by the way? They banned Broodmother. That's talk about some respect right there. It started so horribly, yet they still fear the idea of it.
I think Immortals realized that the Broodmother pick itself was actually really strong. It's just the execution that was lacking. Technically this could have been another game where they get Broodmothered, and they had to dedicate, 2 heroes to deal with the Broodmother, and if that hadn't worked out, they probably would have lost the other, I'm not saying they would have lost the other lanes, but if you dedicate 2 heroes to a lane and you don't win, that's just a lot of time wasted, right? And technically speaking, their offlane Venomancer didn't get anything done in their offlane either. So in that sense, I do think they still know that the Broodmother itself was a strong pick. And speaking of a strong pick and a signature pick for them as well, it is the Monkey King.
There you go, Monkey King for Immortals happening in that final pick. Gives them a lot more physical presence as well, is safe to say. But again, you look what they have. This also shapes up. I guess what they could do is what I was even talking about at the beginning there, the Venomancer Night Stalker dual lane, perhaps. As an aggressive dual lane. And you got Oracle, Monkey in the safe lane, Necrophos middle, with obviously Night Stalker rotations going on. But do you think that that's likely what's going to happen, or?
It is very likely, actually. Yeah, Venomancer Night Stalker is pretty strong to deal with, or it's just a very strong dual lane. Disruptor in lane is not necessarily the strongest, especially against such a dual lane, because his harassment isn't that strong and he doesn't have any, save mechanisms. So in that sense, I do think there's that potential. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just focused more on the mid lane, making sure that Sumail doesn't have a strong start. But as I say that, there's an anti-mage that you also might need to deal with. I think this is, anti-mage, Necrophos, those are 2 heroes that you pick if you're facing Elimination Darkseer as well. This is, if it's TI and it's like the lower bracket in the last game, you go anti-mage Darkseer or Tidehunter or something along those lines. So this is definitely a very safe draft from Evil Geniuses. They, don't want to get eliminated this early.
Yeah. Well, obviously neither team does at this point. Want to keep things alive here. in what is, as you mentioned, the losers bracket of the Star Ladder R League Invitational Season number 3 North American Qualifier. So it's coming down to this Game 3. Immortals coming off of the statement match there. I think is a good way to put it. The winner of this will play the winner of our later series today, by the way. VGJ Storm versus Team Leviathan is set to take place after this series here as well. So a couple of great best of threes continuing on into the weekend here, where by Sunday, at least on the schedule, we're going to be determining a winner of the North American qualifiers here. Anyways, loading into the game now, or shortly here, the Anti-Mage with that final pick. So from them, if they send the Venomancer Night Stalker in the aggressive off lane, are you perhaps reacting to that? If you're Evil Geniuses, maybe sending the Anti-Mage aggressive lane themselves and then play the mind game of rotate one after the other? Or do you think they could be fine matching up against that?
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you want to afford the Anti-Mage up against the Monkey King in lane, just because the Monkey King kind of trashes onto the Anti-Mage, because Monkey King's range is so much bigger, and he can harass Anti-Mage much more effectively. So I think if you're Immortals, you try and have the Night Stalker probably just roam between the offlane and the safe lane, offlane and the mid lane, and not commit to anything just yet, but probably more so the offlane than the mid lane. And then, you know, if you're AG, you definitely want to avoid the Monkey King as much as possible. And I think Universe probably won't get anything in lane whatsoever. I mean, it's an Oracle. He'll just have to jungle safe.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, lane's coming about. Wards go down. You see up here at the top lane, you got an aggressive ward being placed from Dubu there, playing the Oracle, able to get in. Do not believe that was spotted at Lacey. You'll see one way at the bottom down here. Not only an aggressive ward, but more so to block the camp there of the spawn. So, gonna have to deal with that. But I heard a ward being placed, actually. Oh, that's at the bottom lane down here from Evil Geniuses themselves. Forever throwing down bananas meanwhile. But yeah, he has the boots picked up, and sure enough, set up to go towards that bottom lane as expected. Night Stalker also with the early boots at this point.
Yeah, this camp is, I mean, this is a good block. I mean, I think we discussed this actually yesterday. It's not necessarily a difficult ward to block, it's just, you know, a matter of seeing it because it's behind the trees. But generally speaking, it's not difficult to block, and I'm sure they will block it. They do have a sentry on the Disruptor. But this is going to give Venomancer a little bit of a nice head start because they can't pull the wave just from the beginning.
The block's coming out here. So what kind of lane positioning we get in the middle lane. But yeah, Queen of Pain versus the Necro. You throw in the Night Stalker, of course, as they're talking about from the beginning. Got to take that in consideration, so I'm sure QO going to be set up to have a pretty good time. Shadow Poison goes up, but Night Stalker in the face. Going to keep his harassment there, so... Darkseer has the Ion Shell. Fortune's End is here for Dubu. Just going to simply auto-attack for the time being, though. Onto Universe. So, but, okay, well, wow, whoa, that was bottom lane.
Both of us missed that. I was watching top and then mid, and I mean, I guess it was to be, I guess one could have anticipated this, you know, there is a Spirit Breaker charge, and he was hiding pretty well, but I don't know. It still felt like Forev should have been able to stay a little bit safe. There's not that much immediate burst damage potential either.
Yeah, and again, with the boots as you talk about, but he is by himself, and a lonely Venomancer by himself is a very, very susceptible target, and
especially with the Connect Field as well.
Yeah, you're right. He goes that level 1. A lot of disruptors may get that Thunderstrike instead for the damage output harassment, but go in that Kinetic Field for the first blood potential, and it pays off there in the end. So now if you're Venomancer, I was going to say, he probably is just going to look to jungle. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not doing this to the Darkseer. Like, I'm very surprised. Maybe we'll see this at some point, but for now they're giving this Darkseer a little bit more experience and a bit more farm than he probably should be able to get. Oh, mid lane. Sumail blinks in aggressively. Just trying to cancel the cell, just needs to be careful not to die.
Yeah, he's going to walk him off. I'm also watching the jungle over here as Crit's now in trouble. He's going to try to get denied at the last second. It's not going to happen, though. Febby gets credit for the kill on the Night Stalker. So he was harassing the Venomancer in his jungle. His Universe is going to be fine at the top lane. A lot of the Plague Wars were down. He's taking a lot of chip damage, and eventually he added up, especially with the rotation from Night Stalker. So good job right there on the side of Immortals. Charge coming in middle, but no, he's going to stop. QO gets the self delivered, and he'll throw that up. But we've definitely seen some very early rotations here from either side.
Yep. So far, though, this laning stage, I'd say definitely going in favor of the Radiant. I mean, they are winning this mid lane after all. Sumail doubling the last hits. Might even get this kill into the Night Stalker now. Yeah, should be able to get it.
There we go, and he's still standing his ground against QO. He's going to blink away at the last second, baiting just enough for Crit to come in on Spear Breaker, connect with the bash, so well played there. And ends up being a 2-for-0 in the middle lane. So yeah, Sumail's living life on the edge, but it's a case of also he's knowing his limits, clearly.
He does.
And he's staying alive.
When he blinked in aggressively as well, it was to cancel the self, right? So this was all just to win this lane, and I mean, he has won this lane so far, and even though he has to walk back, this is a lot of farm and experience for Crit, who's now level 3 and, you know, can afford something. And in the meantime, you know, Disruptors being able to stack and pull, and then the anti-mage just free farm. So Immortals training a little bit behind, but, you know, nighttime is soon going to hit, and I'm sure that Febby is going to look towards some sort of kill in the mid lane then, or at some lane.
You got Night Stalker again, still camping around here for 13 more seconds before it's nighttime. And then you have to be a little more careful as far as, obviously, your positioning, but you got bottom lane, Arteezy's doing the absolute free farm on the anti-mage, so something else you have to keep in mind if you are Immortals especially. We'll take a look at that item progress.
Oh,
Q middle lane.
They're not going to get.
Okay, I was gonna say he has a Ghost Shroud. The stick charge is even. Yeah, he's fine.
I think the illusion actually discouraged them from going there. If they hadn't known this was an illusion, I think they just commit to this kill. But I think the illusion made it seem, because if it had been the actual Night Stalker, they could have probably turned on the Queen of Pain with the silence. But now they know it's an illusion. But the actual Night Stalker is coming in now as well.
That he is. The charge is up, though. Bashes and Packers. Necrophil's just about dead, but he's not dead enough. He stays alive. Actually, Queen of Pain now is in trouble. The bash proc from Crit, though. Good old 17% coming through. And QO ends up ticking down to the Shadow Strike, actually, in the back line. So, again, Sumail just really knowing his limits here and playing it so well on this Queen of Pain right now in the middle lane.
Yep, and this is just... I mean, just in terms of last... I mean, in last it's not, you know, that significant, but in terms of net worth, he's almost doubling Kyo in net worth. So, Kyo not having the best time here. But again, it is nighttime now, so Febby can have a bigger presence in this lane.
Arteezy, though, does have that Perseverance, of course, queued up right here. Battle Fury is well on its way, and... quick glance at the net worth. He's already at 2,600 leading the way, no surprise. But you can't forget about Monkey King either, as charge again middle lane. This is just where the action's at, man. Kinetic Field goes down, the Ghost Shroud popped immediately. And speaking of Monkey King, he actually rotates in for this, but they did not overcommit. Boundless Strike stuns up Queen of Pain initially, the Void as well, but he gets away just in time. There is no Crippling Fear just yet from Night Stalker, of course.
That's a big win for EG. Forcing out the TP from the Monkey King, who, like you said, you know, yeah, he's been free farming, but now what? You force him out of the lane for maybe 20, 30 seconds? Oh, of course, he wastes the TP on top of it as well. So this is a big win, and EG looking just very solid in this laning stage, though. Sumail, as you say it, though, you know, he definitely knows his balance, but you know, with a haste, might not be able to get away here.
Ah, he's fine, right? He's fine. Queen of Pain's fine. He's good. No, he's dead. That time he's not so fine. So that, yeah, haste rune definitely helps. Of course, I don't think he expected that, at least coming out. Bottom lane though, Kinetic Field trapping him forever. He has those Plague Wards he's trying to use, deal some return damage. And Mana Void committed though from Anti-Mage to secure that one. So in that sense, kind of a 1-for-1 trade. But of course, at the same time, killing Queen of Pain has got to finally feel good for Immortals. He's been so close several times.
And for a Night Stalker to get that solo experience for the kill as well, I mean, it's just great, right? He hasn't found a lot of kills in this laning stage thus far, so finding that solo kill boosts him up to 4.5 in terms of levels, so that's pretty good for him.
But going back to Monkey King, Ring of Aquila coming up right here. What are we going to be seeing on Monkey King, you think? Being this safe lane, essentially free farming MK?
See, that's a question, because there's a lot of item builds that Monkey Kings can go for these days. In China, oftentimes you see the Battle Fury even, you know, to increase your farm and to focus on that. But I think in the West we've seen, you know, a lot of Echo Saber, Shadow Blade, and I hope, or I assume, that is going to be the route in this game. Oh, that's Febby? Is he gonna survive here? No, that's a glimpse. He should be dead.
Right back in. So, yep, Febby, sure enough, dead as expected. Another bash in there.
But yeah, I think Echo Saber Shadow Blade would be best, because the Silver Edge later on is actually going to be really strong as well, with the damage reduction and the break. But, I don't know, they could also, you know, Immortals, if they want to play it safe, they could technically pick up the battlefield and try to contest the farm of the Anti-Mage.
God, Crit is so active on this hero. I mean, a lot of Spirit Breakers are, of course, but he's just all over the place a little bit too far, though. No, he stays alive, actually. Just a little bit longer to be taken out by an auto attack, but at least he prevents the Reaper Scythe kill, so a win there in that sense. Sonic Wave in the face of Nightstalker Meanwhile, and in QO's face for the double turn kill for Danger, aka Sumail right there, and he has a nice little double damage rune to pick up as well. Beautiful turn for Queen of Pain and in favor of EG.
You know, if this is a pop game, Sumail probably did question marks all chat. Or not Sumail in general, but the Queen of Pain player would just do it, because I don't know, it was just such a weird double kill because they're just standing there and he's like, alright, I guess I'm just gonna ulti you guys. Not often does the Queen of Pain actually get that many kills with the first ultimate as well, so this is a pretty strong start for Sumail. And do we dare look at net worths? It's, you know, you'd expect Sumail to be higher, but you know, there has been a lot of commotion mid, so his net worth is still pretty respectable, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to CS, he's a little bit behind several others in this game, but yeah, the overall net worth is very, very good. Of course, if you're going to be behind somebody, being behind your partner Anti-Mage is just fine. Battle Fury, again, almost finished. All he needs is that broadsword of the 1200 gold right there. So just about finished. You look back on Monkey King, Ring Basilius actually now. Ring of Aquila, I believe, is going to be on the way, perhaps on the courier there. Yeah, looks like it. So yeah, we'll keep an eye, though, what he decides to go for here. As you mentioned, the Shadow Blade into the potential Silver Edge. Definitely a nice tool. Venomancer, though, going to Medallion here. As essentially playing the off-lane Venomancer in the hands of Forev.
Yeah, Forev just needs to play the utility core in this game. And just make sure to pick up a lot of those items. You know, probably Solar Crest into Halberd. Maybe even an Aghanim's at some point, but I think definitely, you know, Solar Crest. Maybe Veil of Discord could be nice. There's not necessarily a lot of synergy there, but with the Necrophos, there's some synergy there.
Ooh, Roman. This is a smoke ain't gonna expose. They find MP though. A prime target indeed. Boundless Strike comes out at Monkey King though. Not living through that. That's a double damage. Queen of Pain easily gets the kill. Dubu's next in line. A killing spree for Sumail right here. And the 700 gold saved up. Plenty of build up to work with. Great roam coming out. Very good use of the smoke. And guess what? They're going right back to the middle. Not only going to try to get this regen rune, yep, picked up by Sumail. Now he's in their face. Has a Sonic Wave backup, actually. With that double damage rune still on, and a Sonic Wave in the face of Necrophos with the Ghost Shroud activated. That does not help your cause. And they get the kill into Nightstalker as well. Sumail is playing on fire this game.
This is absolutely insane. And Sumail, I mean, this is sort of what you expect from this player, right? If you give him a good, or if you give him a matchup where he can shine, he will, and he did. So this is just him paying his team back for enabling him as well, but also just his own skill. I mean, he's just one of those players that if you give him that space, he will take it. And Immortals will have a rough time dealing with this Queen of Pain because their only control is going to be from the Nightstalker, effectively. I guess you could count the Boundless Strike as well, but that's not really reliable. And so, Kiro. This is an Oracle, though.
A Static Storm. Oh, the Oracle was silenced up! He ran back in! Oh, that Static Storm placement was clutch from Fear right there. That no doubt kept him alive because the False Promise was coming out, or made him dead, I should say. But now Spirit Breaker, is he a little bit too committed? Fates to put on himself. Oracle's going to be wearing off, though. Queen of Pain deciding maybe a little bit too deep this time. And Karet's going to escape with the charge out towards the bottom. Nope, maybe not. He's cut off right here. Meanwhile, in the backline, Sumail is picked off. Yeah. Not catch that. I'm watching Spirit Breaker being run down. He gets a turn kill on a dude. Pops a Shrine, though. And now he's going to go out at 1v1 versus Venomancer. Disruptor's coming in. He's going to charge away. And that should be the end of it. Yeah, they all just run. But yeah, how about that? Sumail going down after all of that. The fact that Spirit Breaker lived was crazy, but that's a big kill on him.
It's a big kill. It's a big bounty as well. 500 gold for support is a lot of money this early on. And yeah, suddenly Oracle can almost afford, or basically can afford now, Arcane Boots as well. And nighttime hits now as well. They are scouting out the Anti-Mage, but can they really kill him? That's the question. With the silence now during nighttime, probably, but Not if he just blinks away like that.
Well, I feel like that's a little bit of a misplay, right? Because he should have Crippling Feared right there first.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So this was a bit of a misplay, but they probably still get the tower out of this. Looks like they want to bait EG into a fight.
Well, Crit, he's definitely, you could argue he's been the MVP if anything this game, honestly, but now going to be saved up by Oracle as Venomancer. Crit going for another Nether Strike, does hit, Monkey Capash comes down, and they do get the kill. It comes at a cost for his life, but they also take out Night Stalker as well. Universe still chasing that vacuum wall, plenty of work being done from it. And now Forever, he's going to be run down with an Iron Shell, of course, glimpse back, Fate's Edict though. And the heal coming out from Dubu, so Venomancer surviving for now. Keeping them in their place a little bit with the Fortress, and the Mana Void's not enough damage. That Thunderstrike, not going to be enough either, so whew. Those calls there in the end, but it ends up being the 2-for-1. They got Monkey King, though.
Yeah, they got the Monkey King, and they only traded their 4-position support for it, which is a fantastic trade for EG. And the Anti-Mage, unfortunately, doesn't get any more kills after that, but, you know, surviving on the Queen of Pain, surviving on the Anti-Mage, very clutch, and once that Lincoln Sphere is up on Sumail, we'll have a very awkward situation where Immortals just doesn't have any control anymore over this Queen of Pain. Sure, they can trigger the Lincolns with the Void, but, you know, Febby still has to get in range first. That's a big issue. They don't have any long-range way of triggering it, so that is going to be an issue in the long run.
But yeah, going back as this actually just continues to make the point, though, I know you mentioned we're hyping up Queen of Pain and Sumail and the plays that he's making, which has no doubt been huge, but I really do think you cannot overlook the impact that Crit has had.
Oh, for sure.
Spirit Breaker has been setting up so many of those kills, if anything, you know, keeping alive in some cases. Speaking of staying alive, Queen of Pain actually avoids the Boundless Strike, and now Svebby, the one that could be in trouble. He's flying over the ledge, a vacuum back over. He does get pushed back with a knockback, though, and actually he's going to survive. Oracle saving the backline. Static Storm locked down on the Necropulse. Finally, the False Promise does come out this time, though, keeping him alive and probably going to keep him back to full life after this wears off. So yeah, if you're the Radiant side, you do not want to fight into that. And they do retreat for now. Thinking about going back in, though.
This could have been so much worse for both sides, actually. Oh, Night Stalker. It's still not over, I suppose.
That was sick. Glimpsed back right as he charges past him. He turns around, smacks him in the face. Febby, he's dead. The fly runs off, and he does go down in the end, so...
Yeah, Crit has been part in 14 kills out of the 17. He definitely ran the show in this early game, and this is sort of what people expected to see from Crit when he, you know, rotated back to the 4 position, and I'm glad that we're seeing it. And he's showing how to play Spirit Breaker effectively. Well, that's that universe.
Yeah, nice catch there. Definitely a hindsight thing to say, but Monkey King, I don't know, do you think this is a Monkey King thing, or is it just this could have been a lot of carries and it'd be the same thing happening as far as his impact this game being pretty minimal?
It's...
As Kyo's dead at the top lane, by the way. Oh, okay, well, there's this happening now. If Febby's trying to get the turn count of the Spirit Breaker, he will, but at what cost for him? He's fine, it looks like.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's weird because I think Immortals actually picked the Monkey King because they want more impact from their carry position, right?
Yeah.
Because Monkey King is definitely a very active hero, and they've definitely been active on him, trying to look for kills all around the map. But effectively, he hasn't really done a lot of things. I mean, he's been part of 3 kills, but he also died twice. It's a bit weird, but at the same time, I don't think they would have had another, or there would have been another carry where they could have any more impact, really. I don't know, I'm thinking of maybe like something like the Void, but then you're very cooldown reliant, which they don't really want either. So I do think the Monkey King was a good pick here for them, but you know, it's just not been working out for them just yet, and that's not necessarily because of the hero, but just because EG is setting a tempo that Immortals just can't keep up with.
Well, he is going to go the Hand of Midas to help try to recover right here. He does have a finish now. So let's start at least for MP in terms of coming back in this game. I mean, he's 4th overall in net worth, so he's not doing horrendous. It's just not ideal where he wants to be. Because on the other side, you do have the Anti-Mage that, of course, is going to continue to excel. The Manta Style is on the way here. You do have Venomancers actually leading the way. That, I think, is the most surprising thing, because this is an off-lane Venomancer that we're talking about. That's leading the top of the net worth for his team, at least.
It is, but at the same time, Forev has pretty much just been jungling most of the time. And he's been, you know, very focused on pushing out lanes, pushing towers. So in that sense, Forev just sort of been a silent carry in this game, because he's just been focusing on farming, and he kind of had to. because his lane was very, very bad, and Venomance as a hero definitely needs both farm, experience, and items. So, yeah, this is kind of what he had to do. But they just need to make sure that he doesn't die, because, he needs more items. So, like, just the Solar Crescent itself is not going to be sufficient.
Well, Crit went pretty far right there. This could possibly backfire. QO's running in. He had a chance for his ultimate, but they get turned around instead as a Static Storm comes out. Feed Edict not going to be enough to save the Monkey King. Dubu had to make a decision right there. Do I false promise the MK or the Necrophos? And he chose Necrophos, and Monkey King dies. I think that is the right choice, to be fair, but I don't know, because if he Fates Edict Necrophos there, he might actually live, to be honest.
I think it was the right choice in the sense that Monkey King already just spent his money anyway. He just purchased the Midas. I don't think he lost a lot of gold. Let's just see. Yeah, he lost like 8 gold. That's it. So in that sense, I think if Kyo had died, he would have lost a lot more. So I think this was the right choice, actually.
Yeah, it's a tough decision, no doubt, for Dubu. It's easy for us to say in hindsight.
I'm also not sure if if Dubu actually considered those factors, like, oh hey, who do I save? Like, are you gonna lose more gold than the other? I don't think he did. I think it was more of a reaction than the Necrophos is a very important hero, and the Monkey King. I mean, both are really important heroes, but maybe he even missed. Like, for all we know, he actually intended to save the Monkey King.
Well, in the end, only able to save the one. Monkey King is back up though. Middle lane, Night Stalker does barely survive himself. The Shadow Strike not going to be enough damage on the tick there, so able to make it back to base, but more distractions happening, the more free farm the Anti-Mage continues to have, and Queen of Pain, with the Lincoln's finished, and look at what he has queued up next.
Diggin.
Are we really going to see a Diggin?
I'm not sure if he's actually going to purchase it, but it's not that bad of an item here. There's a lot of ways to deal with these heroes with his magic burst, and against the Ghost Shroud, the more magic damage you have, the better. So why not?
Yeah, that's a fair point, honestly. The
thing is,
it can only be a one hero, so you don't need to worry about that, really.
Yeah, and for him, really, what does he he doesn't need any defensive items, really. Yeah, BKB could be nice, but the Lincoln Sphere is already very sufficient. And in terms of offensive items, what's really gonna change the outcome of the game? Is an Aghanim really gonna do anything? I don't really think so. So in that sense, I think the Dagon is probably a really good choice here.
Yeah. Oh, top lane, QO on the run. He does have Ghost Shroud still. His mana's being heavily burnt, though the Mana Void tried to go off, but it got stunned up, so unable to use it right there. QO saved by the false promise in the backlines. Oracle's going to be picked off. Necrophos, I think he's going to be living through this, but will he die after? Oh, he had the Fates Edict on still. So the Mana Void was a little bit too early. Now Forev comes out with the Poison Nova. In the face, though, Sumail with the Sonic Wave. Trying to finish off Forev. At least he has to blink away, though, getting low himself once again. Wukong's command back here. MP might be able to kill off Universe, as a couple of kills are coming out, though, in favor of VG on the other side. Darkseer does go down. Now Fear on the run. Monkey King, full charge Jingu. Cannot catch up, though. Good job with the glimpse. Meanwhile, Arteezy's just running people down and picks up a triple kill.
Oh,
that Fear
MP
is
still
found,
gets
though.
a kill. He still gets a kill last second. Could have been a lot worse. Oh, he's still charged up, the Monkey King, that is.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Can he kill Spirit Breaker? That's the one saving grace. Probably not.
He wants to use the Midas. He wanted to use the Midas. Almost in range.
Efficiency, yo.
Very unfortunate for Immortals to not get the kill onto the Queen of Pain. She was very low, but Sumail just did the right thing, immediately retreated, went to the shrine, got back up again, and immediately tried to rejoin the fight, but at the time, they didn't even need him anymore, really. It's just, again, Immortals just don't have any control. Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, Spirit Breaker, Doxia, they can just do whatever they want in those fights. There's basically no control aside from, what, the Boundless Strike, I guess? So this is a bit troublesome going forward, and it's not like there's any big control item coming up for them either.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you were talking about the possible defensive choices that he could have gone on Queen of Pain. Yeah, I was looking at this dire lineup and thinking, you know what? Yeah, they really don't have the most control. I mean, Fear is obviously great on Night Stalker, so maybe you could argue that Yules would be pretty good on Queen of Pain, but the pace of this game, I mean, he doesn't need that. He already has the Lincoln Sphere anyways, and the Dagon is now purchased level 1 here.
And it's so rare for Sumail to be able to, or to be hit by 2 spells, right? The Fear itself isn't gonna pop until they trigger the Lincoln somehow, and I feel like the way Sumail's been playing so far, he can afford to be sort of like quote-unquote greedy. It's not even greedy, it's just there's nothing Immortals can do against him right now. I do think it's going to change because there's a couple of Force Staffs now, and they have more ways to deal with the Lincolns. And as I say that, Crit might just... Yeah, he should die. He's dead. But yeah, I just think up until now, this is totally justified from Sumail, and he might have to invest into a BKB next. I don't think he can just afford a Dagon 5, especially because of the Venomancer as well, but we'll see.
And they're engaging here. They're thinking about doing Roshan. They're trying to do Roshan. The static sword put down, though, and QL is going to melt as a result of that on the Necrophos. Buybacks by Venomancer and Necrophos immediately. The false promise on Oracle himself does not save him in the long run, though, as the Mana Void is used for that kill. Triple kill coming up for RTZ. These are buybacks, by the way, and this Anti-Mage, you are not killing him. You have no physical damage right now if you're this dire side. These are going to be diebacks, and this could be... I don't want to say the end coming up, but you get my point. This is EG going to be in a very good spot right here. QO, yes, he will go down. Arteezy actually gets pretty low, to be honest, but not low enough. It's a complete wipeout, and they're in potential to now steal Roshan themselves.
Yep, EG, you know, crit. I was almost about to say, oh yeah, the saving grace is they delay Roshan, but do they really? Because, you know, with the Urn Chargers, they keep themselves alive, and they just take Roshan anyway. So, basically nothing Immortals won in that fight, and oh my god, they lost a lot of gold, a lot of experience as well, and Arteezy doubling the net worth of the Monkey King now. That's the kind of game we're in right now.
Yeah, and again, it kind of goes back to, especially being an anti-mage, they really need that physical presence, and Monkey King not bringing it, unfortunately, with the way this game's been going. Queen of Pain, by the way, actually could be in trouble here. Okay, that is going to be another streak stopper, this time 6 kills. And the bonus for Night Stalker, it's almost unfortunate that Monkey King didn't get that last hit right there, because he really could use that. But overall, that's actually not bad for Immortals, considering where this game is going right now. But Anti-Mage, the age is finished. And yeah, obviously with that level 4 spell shield, it's going to be up to Monkey King to be dealing this damage. But he's going to BKB. I mean, he's not even necessarily getting that damage out of him yet.
Yeah,
either, he might melt away
no,
here.
All right, he's going to be saved, but... yeah, he has to invest into those defensive items because the silence is really screwing him. The glimpse as well. Like, there's so much control on the Radiant side with the vacuum as well, with the vacuum wall. The Queen of Pain has a lot of magic burst damage. So this Monkey King needs to invest into the defensive item before he can play any more aggressively. And in the meantime, Arteezy just finished a butterfly. So even if, you know, even if Monkey King had any more like, damage-dealing items, he would still miss onto the anti-mage until he gets an MKB, and he's so far away from an MKB. Like, that's another 10 minutes away.
Yeah. Sure is. An anti-mage gonna have his basher even coming up here soon at this rate. So the raid boss is fully alive. If you combine... Well, hold that thought, because they're just diving into the base now. Night Stalker, BTX save. Dubu's going to get blown up, though, by Arteezy, just sitting there right-clicking in. There goes a vacuum wall combo with the Static Storm kinetic field. That's what we're talking about earlier. BKP, it's not even going to save him. The pure damage of the Sonic Wave takes him out. And now you see Kyo just trying to tank this yet again. The Dagon nuke, though, he does explode with the Mana Void. I would not be surprised to see those 2 letters come out here soon from Immortals. This is just out of control now for EG.
It really is, and yeah, there it is. There's nothing that Immortals could do at this point anymore. It's difficult to, I think it's, or rather, it's easy to say, oh yeah, this is just a drafting thing, right? But I feel like the execution was also very lacking, and once a player like Sumail on a hero like the Queen of Pain gets rolling, it's very difficult to keep them under control, especially with the draft that Immortals had. So I think there's a lot of factors here to consider for Immortals, and going forward, they'll just have, you know, I think they'll study this replay especially a lot, because I think there's a lot of things they could have done better. But Evil Geniuses, I think they went with a very safe draft, with a very safe execution as well, and they just delivered.
They did. An impressive victory for them, and, you know, again, this is a... They had to react after that game 2 that happened right there, of Immortals looking strong in the game 2 to force that 3rd game even. But you know, I'm with you, definitely. A lot of people may just, you know, the simple excuse is, oh, they got outdrafted. I definitely don't think that was the case either. You got to give credit where credit's due in the sense of EG. They played that middle lane very well. Sumail especially, let alone Crit. Like I said, I think if you're going to give an MVP, Crit probably deserves it.
23 assists. That is insane.
26 of the 34 kills he was involved in, and I want to say nearly every kill in the beginning of the game, which seemed to happen in the middle lane. He was a part of right there, so no doubt high impact from him. And of course, you find that much room for an Arteezy anti-mage, let alone any anti-mage. They're going to be able to capitalize on it. So EG moves on, stays alive. They're going to be playing now the winner of the VGJ Storm versus Team Leviathan series, which is set to happen coming up here later today. I believe on the default, it's supposed to happen actually in about an hour from now, hour and a half from now. No, in an hour from now, I believe, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So just over an hour. That's to take place. So I'm gonna leave that up to you, Skim. If you want to keep the stream on, it's up to you, or you can take it down but come back on.
We'll probably take it down for now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm good to wrap it up then. So
yeah,
I'll let you do it, Skim.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, like Breaky mentioned earlier, and this was a very impromptu thing, very spontaneous. We ran into a couple of issues, so hopefully everything was great, or at least enjoyable. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We're gonna be back, I suppose, for that series. So yeah. For now, the stream is gonna be down though, since I need to change a couple of settings, but. Yeah, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you for BTS. Thanks BTS for having us, and we should be back pretty soon.
See you guys soon.